if you are in Calgary. And one of our usual guests is actually in Calgary. It's very exciting.
In studio, even, Dean.
In studio.
Remember where our studio is, or has it been?
Barely.
Yeah.
Barely. It's north of here. I know that. Anyway, the TELUS Insider Hotline is live in studio today as Jamie McLennan joins us in our posh studios. You're liking the studios there, Noodles?
I love everything about it. It's a great setup, great lighting. The cameras are they're throwing me off a little bit because everything's like so, compact. Like it's, you go into
like the studio.
Yeah, you go into studio TSN
camera.
and there's like a giant camera and you've got a monitor below. It's like everything is really efficient. It's laid out perfect. This, the background is amazing. And there is a little bonus, gentlemen. A little bit. I'm gonna sneak that in there.
We heard he was coming.
I'm not lying. I banked on this being here. I was hoping that it would be here because I was like, I'm so thirsty. I worked out and I had a shake on the way. And I'm like, but I need some fluids. They better have Cove waiting for me. And it was like on the table laid out. But the thing is I didn't realize there's this flavor. What is this one again?
There's root beer in there.
That's root beer.
Yeah, that's new to him.
I will be taking that home with me.
Yeah, we got 11 left in that case. It's all yours.
The thing is I don't know, Red, if you remember. Do you remember Roman Hammerlick? He would steal anything that wasn't nailed down.
Yes.
The guy made $5 million a year. And, he literally, if there was an extra shaver there, if there was some deodorant, if there was a free t-shirt, he would stuff it away. So I am Roman Hammerlick. When I leave, I will be walking away with some Cove product.
We have
fired up.
A bunch of half-drank whiskey bottles in the back room from the Christmas show if you want those.
That I've got to perform tonight somewhat. Okay. I mean, we'll see how this might be a whiskey game tonight with two teams that are, a little crabby. So we'll see how that one unfolds,
Yeah. And Hammerlick, he was first overall? Didn't he go to Tampa with the first overall pick? When you're that thrifty, that's baked right into you.
But think of the money that he was signing like 5-year deals at $5 million back then.
Yeah.
And he was part of that. Like, I think they've squashed that deal where it's like, I think it's called CRA or something, where you pay into the government. And when you leave, like you're from the Czech Republic or from Sweden or whatever, they give you all that money back. Your salary goes into an account, then they give you all your money back except for like 25%. Something crazy, but Hammer was part of it. He had it all worked out, Hammer.
I was going to say, sounds like he knows what he's doing.
Smart guy.
Yeah, that's not the first time we've heard that, actually. And it seems like a lot of guys took notice of that. So where's the toothpaste? Where's the shaving cream? What is going on? Oh, Hammerlick's got it in his bag. So
I'll tell you what, when your kid starts playing hockey, and you've had free sock tape and tape for life, you're like, what the $10?
I know.
What?
I went to Hockey Life the other day, and I had to get my kid. He needed some tape and he wanted Batman, for the tape.
Sure.
Like he wanted specialty stuff. It's like, yeah, that's $12. Laces are $18. I'm like, what? I can't remember the last time I paid for any of this stuff. And then I ran into one of the equipment reps, Johnny Kirk. He's with Warrior, used to be with like Bauer. And he's like, yeah, I'll outfit you. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it for a 6-year-old kid. I said, I'll wait until the kid actually like loves hockey and breathes it. I'm not getting free stuff right now. So I've been paying for it all. And it is an expensive sport. No doubt about it.
Right. Are you paying for skate sharpenings? That's one that I'm always like, damn it. It was easier when you worked for a hockey team and there was an equipment guy.
Yeah, no, I pay for them because I've bought 2 skate sharpeners. So
Guess one goes down or what?
Wow. I bought a real one, the old real grinder, and then I bought the button one where you could just put it in.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's a free plug for them. But Pinder, you need to get like ASAP, because every time you spend money on another,
it's not good.
It's in your basement.
Sharpen now.
My dad used to sharpen everybody's skates in our garage. My grandfather years ago was a shoe. I don't know, like a
cobbler.
Shoe smith.
A cobbler.
Is that what it's called? A cobbler?
Oh,
Jerry?
So he worked at the Roslyn shoe, fix. So like you'd go in and there would be like a hole in your shoe. He'd put a piece of leather over top of it and just fix it up. So somehow my dad got this old school skate sharpener, and my dad was a perfectionist. He'd be out in the garage like perfect. My skates would be perfect. And to a point where like after the game, my team would like line them up. My dad would like take them back to the garage. He was skate sharpening my whole team growing up, like through minor hockey, and he loved it. He'd be out there, it'd be minus 30. He had a little heater in the garage. You'd be sharpening the skates. Like, that's old school stuff. Nowadays, these guys just pop the blade out, pop the blade out, and they get them sharpened, either offside or whatever. It's pretty cool.
But yeah, the Sparks machine, you just set the thing in there and press the button. It swipes it 3 or 4 times or however many you want, and then you're done. I just couldn't. It's the time. You go to, and I get it, but it's how you got to come back about an hour and a half. It's like, hour and a half.
What are we doing?
Jesus, what are we gonna just? Okay,
now it's mindless. Now it's mindless. You just you take it out of people screwing it up and just put it in the machine, and away you go.
Mm-hmm.
No, you got to drop it off at old Gus Thorson's spot up at Winsport. There, he does a fine job, and he printing the dough. Gus
is a good guy. Gus is a large man, and remember how his son like has a huge head too, and they had to bring it like a big bucket in from. They had to order for. I remember we had like baseball caps brought in. They had to call the Blue Jays to get special hats brought in for Iggy, for Kipper, because both of those guys' heads are so big.
Really?
And Gus's son, I think it was like 3 huge buckets. I can't remember what the sizing of like fitted hats were, but like I know Kippersoft, like we had this deal with Vaughn. And they sent us free hats, and Kippers, they were like those stretchy hats, but they had to put like an extra band on it for Kipper. I don't know why, but he's got a freakishly big head. I didn't realize that until we, I guess maybe I don't have a pea head either, but my head was a lot smaller for those caps than Kipper and Iggy. Of course, Iggy has a huge bucket. So it is what it is.
Yeah, poor Iggy. Yeah. It was always interesting watching those reps come in, trying to flog their sticks or their skates, or, hey, would you like to try this? I've told this one to Warner years ago, but I remember the Graf rep. Graf doesn't even exist anymore, right? Did they shut Graf down?
It was Calgary back in the day, wasn't it?
It was a Calgary thing, yeah. So guy would come in, and this was so many years ago, but if you step on this, you had the little thing, and you'd open the lid, and if you step on here, it'll take an imprint of your shoe, of your feet and your toes and all of this. And Reg wore Grafs, excuse me, but he was like, nah, fuck it. I don't need that. Just give me the. So he wouldn't heat fit them. He didn't want the footbed specialized to the arch or his toes. Nah, fuck it. Just I'm a size 12 or whatever it is, and that was it. So
keep them sharp.
Yeah, that was Reggie to a T. Like I remember bleeding myself. Like my body, like before training camp, Rich Hesketh had like the body fat, and you had to ride the 2.5 minute bike, and all of these like ridiculous things that like I had more anxiety about testing at camp than I worried about stopping pucks.
That makes 2 of you. I'm telling you.
And honest to God, like I remember going for lunch with Reggie the day before training camp, and I'm literally had like a salad, like a dry piece of salad. He's eating chili. He's got a beer, like it, and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, what? I'm 228. Like I'll always be 228. And then I'm riding the bike, that 2.5 minute sprint.
And the Wingate?
The Wingate. And I lasted like maybe 210, 220. Reggie quit after 4.5 minutes. He was just looking over going, all right, you're done with this thing? Like he just destroyed the bike. Like it was embarrassing. He was at like 850 watts for 4.5 minutes.
Jeez.
And just riding it like he's out for a Sunday stroll. And like that stuff made me sick. Like I actually would have anxiety about the testing at camp just so that you could actually get to the ice. Yeah. That's the crazy part.
I still have PTSD August 1st. August long weekend. I'm good through August long weekend. And just after August long weekend, I go into a depression and a heightened state of anxiety because of the trend that used to happen. The stress of, oh my God, I've got 3 weeks or 4 weeks and I am nowhere near in shape to go to effing camp. I'm going to get killed.
Yeah.
Well,
there was that one summer.
Yeah, who was it, Retro, you were talking about when it was one of the lockouts? And then it sounds like we might actually get. Yeah.
Sorry, Chris Simon calls me because they'd canceled the season that year. And then Gretzky and a bunch of guys were like, wait a minute, we can't lose a whole season. So they started to get involved. And Cy goes, those effers better not screw this up. I'm 270. If I got to go to camp in 2 weeks, I'm effed.
I remember, well, Rhett, you had a summer where you it was banking on a lockout. I think you were about 240 and you're eating a bucket of chicken a day. It was KFC every day.
No, I had the great routine for Stampede that year. I'd go to A&W for a burger and poutine, and taco time for Chris meat burrito. That was my sustenance. Yeah.
Double up.
Yeah. Well, luckily we did cancel the season that year.
Yeah, thank God. That 2 million would have. That's too bad.
That would have hurt you, but you were glad to get the stipend, the 10 grand a month, and you could be 245 and walk around and enjoy yourself. So
less anxious.
Yeah, exactly. Less anxious.
That 2 million wouldn't come in handy at all now. It'd be it's probably
not
worth
with the price of stick tape. No.
Yeah. Not to mention, that lifestyle, you would have found a way to make that disappear too. So you never.
Well, and half.
Yeah.
And half, because it's 2 million plus half. Because if I was, the lockout got me. I got tied down, and it kind of threw me for a loop. And now,
there you
go. Next thing you know, you're nimbin.
Yes.
So I kind of like the way this is going. I don't want to get too hockey on it, but it is a game day. Flames and excuse me, guys. Flames and Senators. You mentioned Crabby and Grumpy. I'm not sure what the mood is with the Flames. They've been on the road. They came back. They didn't skate yesterday. And it's a quick one hopper, and then they're back on the road again. But the Senators are a bit surly, are they?
Well,
gotta be.
They are, and they should be, rightfully so. I went to the game on Saturday night just kind of with some buddies who have season tickets in Edmonton, a few drinks. Like I just went as a Joe fan. And, watching it, like Edmonton was clearly the better team. They deserved to win. But I was waiting for something with Ottawa for either pushback or like, okay, it was almost like a slow, painful death in that game. You knew, like right from the drop of the puck, Edmonton was like all over them. They created some chances. They weren't hitting the net. They were missing the net. The game was close, and Forsberg made some good saves. But for me, the disappointing part of following Ottawa, there's nights where they deserve to win in Seattle. Joey Decourt stole that game. They got goalied. It happens. Like he was brilliant. He's been on a hot streak. They did everything they could, but they didn't. They scored once on him. And every bad mistake they made ended up in the back of the net. So they end up losing 3-1, I think it was that night. But they deserved a better fate. In Edmonton, it was like they deserved what they got, and they're lucky that the score was that score because Edmonton was the better team, and it was almost like Ottawa was like, we know we're not winning this one. Where like there's been other times where you're like, they're in the game, they've got leads, they're pushing back. They're just a fragile team right now, but something's got to give. You're facing two teams that are kind of in the same state as like I don't know if Calgary believes they should be better, but I know Ottawa does. Like Ottawa believes like we're a better team than we're showing, but they're not showing it. So that you are what you are in the standings. So that's the concerning part. So I don't know how this is going to unfold tonight.
It's got to be much more frustrating for the Sens. Like that's a really talented roster that has a lot of star players. The Flames, it's like, they're hard hat, bring their lunch pail. They'll work hard and they can hang with the best, but that's not what we're seeing in Ottawa at all.
No. And that's the disappointing part is on any given night, it's been something. They're not getting a save. They get the saves. They don't get the goals. Their power play has been not good. Their penalty kills like worse than the National Hockey League. So if you look at it, you're going, okay, they're kind of where they should be, but they're one of the highest scoring teams in the league. They have a ton of talent, but it's like this, they can't put it all together at once. And, Tim Stützle, I think he's a superstar. At 90 points last year as a 20-year-old. At a 21-year-old, he's not having a great season. And you'll see, like, watch him tonight. He gets chances. Like, he gets some 10-bell chances, and he'll pass instead of shoot. Or then he had a wide open, he had an option on the back door the other night, just shot. Like, he's in his head a little bit. But he's a hell of a player. And I want to give them the patient part. It's like, some of their top players are 24, 23, 21. Like Jake Sanderson's a superstar in my mind. Like I watched this kid skate tonight. He reminds me a lot of Scott Niedermayer, how effortless his game is. And it's the same thing. Like Brady Tkachuk's a bull in a china shop. You want him on your team. Like he wants to drag you into a war. Like there are guys, Josh Norris is a really good player. Drake Batherson's a player. Like they've got some guys on that roster. You're going, how is this on paper not translating to the ice? And then, watch tonight and see, because it's been on any given night. It's like something different. It's not just one thing, because if it's one thing, you could clean it up. It's almost like you're sticking your finger in a hole, and then there's another, there's another leak somewhere. They've got 10 leaks, so they got to figure out where to start.
That has cost them a coach and a GM already.
Exactly. And they're not done there. Like if you look at Michael Andlauer and what he's done, he's now brought Dave Poulin in. Steve Stais is the manager. He's fired the manager. They fired the coach. I think they're on move now 3, bringing Dave Poulin in. There's probably 10 moves, 12 moves. And it will include maybe current roster players, but it's also, I think they're going to beef everything up. You start within and go, I'm going to assess the PR department. I'm going to assess the marketing department, the training staff. I don't know if you guys know the name Matty Nickel, like brought in Matty Nickel, who invented what's the BioSteel with Camilleri. So like you look at that, all I kept remembering that Andlauer said in his first press conference, he goes, we want best in class.
Yeah.
So he said, I'm going to go get the best people available, but it's a slow burning process. So they're on step 3, but there's still lots of work to be done there.
And the thing about it is, too, I think we're just so accustomed to the Senators missing the playoffs and being near the bottom.
Yeah.
But I went back this morning and just kind of took a look. They're last today, and there's some bad teams. Anaheim is not very good. Chicago's not very good. They should not be last. Even going back 2-3 years, you go back to the bubble when they were in the Canadian division or whatever. They've missed, but it's not been to this degree.
Right.
This is, I understand why, if there's frustration and almost anger towards this, I get it, because this is here in Calgary. Sometimes people are using the Senators almost as a cautionary tale. You can go ahead and rebuild and you can sell a bunch of things off and get young, but it doesn't automatically mean you're going to get these young players. And then in 3 years, you're going to be a juggernaut.
I think this is going to be brilliant for the Senators. And I'm not even joking. I don't know what their draft situation is. I'm guessing they still own their first rounders and stuff. I think they are a better team than what you're seeing.
Yeah.
I think they're screwing up and it sucks and people might be upset with it this year, but they're going to get a F of a pick again.
Yeah.
And that might be the pick that makes a difference in the long term.
Yeah. They get another top 5 pick.
It's great to say we want to get back to playoffs. Absolutely. You absolutely do. But you add another top 5 pick to that squad.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Well,
and they got Detroit's first for DeBrincat. They got 2 firsts.
And they've got some guys coming too. Like they got this kid, Tyler Clevin, who's a big, long defenseman. So like, if you look at their defense, like they've got good defensemen, they still have to figure out how this looks, because their best defensemen are left-handed shots. So you've got Chabot, Chychrun, Sanderson, or whatever. I think Sanderson's the best out of all of them. And he's 21 and he's just getting better. Like he's still making mistakes out there and stuff, but like he worries about defending first. And then he worries about the offensive stuff. Like he's a hell of a player. And then you've got Chabot, then you've got Chychrun. And then on the right side, they got this guy, Artem Zub, who's a real good, like stabilizing kind of he's good to play with Sanderson. He's good to play with Chabot because he settles them down. But the right side is where they don't have the right shot. They've got Hamonic, who's, you guys know Hammer, like good guy, all of that, but like he's near the end. So, Hammer at 33, I don't know what the future looks like, but that D, the framework is there to be really good for a long time. They got this kid Clevin, and they got a kid named Jacob Bernard Docker, who's a right-handed
from around here. I think played Okotoks.
Yeah, right? He's a good kid too, and he's physical. He's just settling into the league, so he's going to be a player. So their D are young, mobile, and good. Their forwards, Rhett, you're right. You plug in another high draft pick, or somebody, or if
asset.
Another asset. If you decide to, hey, I'm going to move that first rounder for a 25-year-old guy that's really good too, like
or a goalie or whatever.
Well, I think.
What about goaltending, James? Because they've got some young forwards in D. They've drafted. There's reason to be excited. Is there anything in the goalie pipeline?
Well, they got a guy named Matt Sogard, who's this 6 foot, 6'7"
Medicine Hat, right?
Yeah, he's a big, but he's got to catch up to his body. So they went through 7 goalies last year because they had injuries, and Talbot got hurt. Forsberg blew out both of his knees when Hyman fell on him. Like there was it was a mess. They brought this kid up from the coast, Dylan Ferguson, who had played in Kamloops and played one game against the Oilers. And, but he stopped like 50 shots in Pittsburgh, but he's not an NHL guy. They went through 7 goalies last year. So they go in the offseason, they spent $25 million. They gave the Jack Campbell deal to Korpisalo.
Why?
Well,
that seems stupid to me.
Because like you go out and you get the best guy available. I actually had this chat. I want to bring this to you guys because I'm having a goalie debate tomorrow on TSN that we're doing for like the future. And we're talking about Hockey Canada, is Hockey Canada now, there's other countries that have caught up, but he said like specifically to goaltending. And he asked me, he goes, what do you make of it? And I said, well, there are good young Canadian goaltenders. Levi's going to be good. I think Carter Hart's had a good season. But I said, I go, let me look at it a different way. And this is where it's going to come back to the Korpisalo situation. So I just said Korpisalo signed 5 years at $5 million. You're like, why?
Yeah.
Blake Coleman makes how much?
4.9.
And he's what? Third line left winger, right?
Yeah.
Sort of.
He's second or third, depending on.
Third. So is it a 7?
15 goals.
He's a 7 or an 8 on the roster, right? Maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah.
He talks about it. Like it's like
it's because they're volatile.
But what I'm saying is like people are so mad. It's like Korpisalo, you get that guy $5 million. I'm like, you could be a third line left winger and make $5 million.
Yeah.
So if I'm a parent, what do I want my kid to play net? Or do I want him to, if he has a chance?
Kids to play.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, do I want my kid to be net and sign a $5 million deal and people just kick him in the nuts? Or if he's good enough, be a third line left winger and you might be lucky enough to make 5 sheets too. And nobody talks about you. Nobody.
If your kid's signing a 5 and 5, you just high five him and don't
Pat
worry about it. Yeah,
I'm happy with it. My point is
I think that's poorly spent money. Like,
but
what do you
your
do?
reaction is exactly what I'm talking about of why would parents. I actually did a seminar for, Vaughan Hockey invited me to talk in front of all their volunteers. So 600, parents there and talking, and we did a Q&A at the end. And somebody asked like about Canadian hockey. And they said, do you want your son to be a goalie? I'm like, I don't know. I said, like, if he ever was going to be an NHLer, why would I want him in that position where like we get mad? Like that position is still not respected the way it probably should be.
It's because they're volatile. Nowhere else can you be like Sergei Bobrovsky's the only active goalie with 2 Vezinas. He goes to Florida and he's below league average for the first 4 years of that deal. And no other position that happened. Sidney Crosby doesn't win 2 Hearts and then turn into a third liner.
Yeah.
Blake Coleman's not going to the AHL. Jack Campbell's there. They're volatile. It's horrible investment of your cap.
But you're right. But that's my point is, so if we're just talking about it, you want your son to play goal? You want your son to play left
I'm not
wing?
planning on my kid going to the NHL.
Well,
I'm not making decisions based on NHL salaries.
You're
but
right.
you know what? Jamie has a point. Parents do not want their kids. It costs so much money. It's expensive and all of
that's
that.
the reason you don't want your kid in net.
It's not the main reason.
And pads cost $2,000.
But that's kind of where I was going with it is like the fabric of it. And again, it's my son's not going to play in the NHL. He's 6 and he's grinding just to be a little.
Okay, I'm going to stop. Well, this is a wholly different topic. I hate people saying that. Let your kid play in the NHL. And when the dream dies, it dies. You don't need to predict whether or not he's going to play in the NHL.
My point is my expectation where I live in the GTA where that same talk that night, there were 600 people. I talked to them. I said, Blake Coleman, I made the same point. I said, people are mad at Jack Campbell. Blake Coleman has the same deal. Now, I said, nobody's talking about him. They're talking about Jack Campbell. So afterwards, there was a guy said, he goes, I need your advice. Can I talk to you? And he goes, my son, and I swear to God, he's got a straight face because I was waiting for him to smile at the end, but he goes, my son's known as the best 6-year-old in Ontario. What do you think I should do? I was like, I don't even know what that means.
Stop talking to the people you're talking to.
I'm like, I was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, do you think I should continue to coach him? Should I hire a skills coach? Should I be doing? I was like, I don't know, man. Like he's 6. Like these kids are just learning to wipe their ass. Like I don't know what. Like I was like dumbfounded because he was dead serious, going like, what do I need to do to get him to that? Like, and he was like, in his mind, that kid's going to the NHL. And I always tell people. Our coaches included, who are very intense for my son. I go, do you know who Wes Weber is? And they're like, no. And I go, he was the best 6-year-old I ever played against at St. Albert, Alberta. And he ended up playing, and he's a good guy, friend of mine to this day. He played for the St. Albert Merchants. I think that's a junior B team. That was his but he was the scariest 6 and 7 and 8-year-old I ever played against. Like, I had anxiety playing against this guy because he could roof it back then. Like, it's the type of stuff. So when I say, Rhett, I'm not being disrespectful to my son. What I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to be realistic.
Yeah.
Like, you look, Hockey Canada is like,
but sorry, I don't want to interrupt you because you're on a roll there, but is it a Hockey Canada thing or is it a hockey thing? Like, there's peaks, ebbs and flows. For a while, it was all Swedish defensemen. The Swedish defensemen are phenomenal. You got to get a Swedish defenseman. Wow, that's kind of gone quiet, right? In Buffalo, and I think it's regional. I think it really is regional.
I think it's been 10 years without us developing an elite goaltender.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who.
Circumstantially, though, it's not because we changed.
Dude, it used to be a torch pass from French Canadian to French Canadian is the best
goalie
of all time.
Who's the French Canadian?
Our best Canadian goalie can't crack the Americans, the Russians, the Swedes right now. I'm sorry.
That's my point. It's regional. When Dominic Hasek was in Buffalo, what the heck do you think the kids wanted to do?
Exactly.
Yeah,
and you talk about kids in Calgary. There were a ton of goalies when Mika Kiprasov was here.
They should put in a league right now.
Kipper said to me, he goes, if he doesn't show up for his jersey thing, I talked to him the other day. He goes, send the guy. Remember, there was a kid
Kipper,
goes, send Mini Kipper, and I go, the guy's 45 years old now, Kipper.
He smokes and drinks like you. We can't find him.
Yeah, but I mean, why were the French Canadian goalies? Because Patrick Waugh came in, and then Marty Brodeur came in, and then all the French Canadian kids. Well, we're all going to be goalies. I think that's.
So why did it stop? That's my like.
Well,
there's no Kipper kids in the NHL. That's my point. They'd be there now.
I think it's a cycle, and I do think it's regional. You're right. Like, so what if Edmonton stabilizes and Stuart Skinner delivers a cup? He's 24 years old. Like, maybe people get excited about Skinner in that region. Like, my whole thing is, it is a cycle right now. Russia, Sweden, Czech, USA, those are 4 countries, and Finland that are ahead of Canada in goaltending right now.
We've never been 6th in goaltending before, ever in the history of this country.
That's and that might be a stretch. There might be Germany might be ahead because of Grubauer and there's one other German goalie in the league that I'm missing.
Marty Gerber's not playing anymore. No.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Swiss. No,
but
sorry, again, something to be said about this too, though, and I think it's true. It's the you go watch a 6-year-old like you just talked about. How many 6-year-olds when Wes Weber was going top shelf? How many other 6-year-olds were going top shelf? Zero back then.
They all
you
are.
watch
crazy.
You go watch a 6, 7, 8-year-old team. They're fucking roofing it left and right. Like they're hitting this target.
They're doing the Michigan.
Picking corners, short side, below the crease. Like, it's unbelievable.
There was a kid the other day. I was at, Vaughan Hockey. My kid was in a camp just for his team they were put in. There was a 6-year-old that was doing the 10 and 2. So the skates like this, he's curling, dragging it and doing the 10 and 2 and then little swirl around and then underneath the bar. I'm like, who the hell is that?
Zegras, right?
And I didn't see that in the NHL. I played it 10 years before anyone did it.
But you know what, though? Like, I often wonder, those kids can be so skilled. What happens when they get a little tap on the laces?
They shit their pants and you got piss. They have to go clean themselves. That's
right, because like that's the one thing we were talking about. Like that trade last night just came from nowhere. That drive deal, because I'd like, what happened? Because I didn't see the Philly stuff. I didn't see like Briere talking to that because I was out for dinner. I just saw this. I get this email going, Jamie Drysdale. I'm like, is that a joke? Like, that kid is
stud. Yeah,
he's a stud, and he's 21. So then you start to figure out. But there's a backstory. The kid doesn't want to go to Philly. All of that, and I'm like, it's weird. Like, the rumblings are what, like, Kevin Hayes told the kid, or like the kid grew up in Pittsburgh or whatever and hates the Phillies. Or hates the Flyers. I'm like, that's so weird. Like, this kid doesn't want to play for the Philadelphia Flyers. Like, all it brought up was like Eric Lindros. That's the only thing I can think. When's the last time a kid made his talk? I guess it'd be Adam Fox here in Calgary, right?
Yeah, right in the scar tissue here.
Yeah, that's right.
A 3rd rounder and much later into college, I believe, than where Gauthier's at.
This kid's like a 5th overall, and it seems like he's going to be a player. But I don't know. I watched that Anaheim play the other day. That Zegras, like, these guys that are so skilled, they're hockey school skilled, but like they still have to learn to play the game. Like I still think he's got miles to be an elite player where I think he's a really skilled and charismatic. I think he's good for the league, all of that type of stuff. I'm not taking a shot at him, but watching his just overall game, I was like, man, there's a lot to learn there.
I bet Zegras isn't a Duck long-term. That doesn't seem like Pat Verbeek's guy.
I don't disagree with you.
And
I think it's
you talk to people around that, and it's like,
yeah,
that's coming to a head.
yeah. Well, that's why it didn't surprise me. It was Drysdale. I thought maybe it would be Zegras. You know?
It can come to a head because the Ducks have enough talent that they can. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're the Calgary Flames and you have Zegras, you're hanging on to him with both hands and dear life.
You don't have
right?
McTavish and Leo Carlson.
Yeah, right.
Like
Like there's a
kid.
different. You can only let that go if you've got depth at that type of player. Right?
Agreed.
So if I may, like we kind of got off the goalies in the Canada thing. Like all the kids 6 in every country can rifle it.
Yeah.
All the kids have expensive equipment everywhere in the world for goalies.
Yeah.
Why? I have a theory. Dean hates it, but I want you to hear it. I think when you go to 60 junior teams and you talk about your best goalies in the country and what their practice looks like, and you compare that to the U.S. National Development Program, where every single day they've got the best 17 skaters in the entire country shooting on them. I know which environment I think goalies would get better in. And I know that a 17-year-old in Russia is going to play in the K or the league right below.
All the kids can shoot.
I think the kids on the U.S. National Development Team program are better than the third liners on the Medicine Hat Tigers is my point. I think what we're seeing, and you're saying it's regional.
So it's the quality of shot that goalies are facing in practice?
Can I finish, or are you going to just jump on me here? I just want to finish.
I know I hate it when guys jump on you.
Yeah, I know.
It's the worst.
Right. So,
but to clarify, that's kind of I'm not being critical, honestly. So it's like the repeated quality of shooter in practice.
They're playing against better players every day. Of course, they're better.
Well, and
that's easy, right? Like if I play junior B or I played major junior, junior A, like the quality competition I play every single day for a year matters, especially when I'm between 16 and 20.
If the difference in quality is enough.
And it is, because the U.S. National Development Team program will produce 10 to 15 draft picks, and the Medicine Hat Tigers might have 2.
Well, you're right on a lot of different fronts. I'm going even on the bigger level too. USA Hockey, a lot of these now other countries are putting the resources and their money into player development, like where it's focused. Where right now, I don't know. Again, maybe this is an ignorant comment. Every time I hear about Hockey Canada, it's like the off-ice stuff. It's the, hey, you got to shower with your underwear. I don't even know what that rule is. Have you heard this one?
Yeah.
People shower.
It's simplified and very not crazy in Calgary.
But
it was Nova Scotia went nuts.
But it's gone. Like there's these rules and you got to have the board and I know there's been problems. I understand that they're trying to clean it up. I don't hear all of that. Like all I hear from out of USA program is like, they're trying to make the 20 best players, the 100 best players. Like there's no noise where I feel like Hockey Canada has this dark cloud over it, as opposed to like just developing top tier talent at every position. Because I'm pretty dialed up in the goaltender world. I don't know who these guys are working with. Your point, Phil O'Sayer, I know USA Hockey. He's the head of, like he's literally working with the top goaltenders, and they're getting the best attention year round.
It's not a 3-week summer camp.
Exactly.
It's his fucking full-time job.
It is. And that's my thing, is the resources are being put into it and the money's being put into it. And I think they've bridged the gap on Canada.
It's not bridged. Like Ottinger, Hellebuck, Demko, all 3 of those guys are worlds better than the best Canadian goalie of the last 10 years. Like you got to find a young Fleury or a Luongo to get back to a good Canadian goalie.
Yep. I would argue though, if Buffalo turns the corner and Levi stabilizes, maybe that's your kid.
He's a prospect.
You're right.
I'm sorry. Like,
you're right. At 21, he is
prospects.
Like Hart was supposed to be great 5 years ago. Like he's still not there.
But he's good now.
He's good, but we're not great. Like,
yeah, you're right.
It's not, he can't make the American team.
But what if Philly was like Vancouver right now? Like, what if they were a top tier team and Hart was part of that?
I take Demko over him all day.
I agree.
So that's the point.
But I think there's a chance where your environment, like if you play for a top tier team, you get viewed as a top tier player. So I think there is still hope for some Canadian guys, but you're right. They're miles behind, and that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of it has to do with coaching too, Noodles. And I don't know. You go to, you mentioned Buffalo and Devin Levi. There's a coach in Buffalo who's really at the youth level, who's really trying to turn things around. His name's Rhett Warner. He's coaching a U15, U14, U15, AAA team, the Junior Sabres. They were at a tournament this weekend. He talked about Zegras having to learn to play through a bit of contact and that. This is from the weekend. This is Rhett Warner's team. at an invitational tournament, the Silver Stick in Ontario. Kids got to learn early, Jamie.
So Rhett's team is the Buffalo
That's correct.
That's correct.
Sabres,
Yeah.
colors, and it looks like they really enjoyed themselves, throwing their arms in the air. And
And this is a Canadian team.
now, were any parents to crawl the glass or anything like that, or was there, some
I
man
asked if Rhett-
conversations in the parking lot?
Yeah, I asked if Rhett cut his fingers scaling the glass to get at the other coach, or how that worked. But
How did this all go down, Rhett?
It came kind of. I mean, it came out of nowhere. We won a draw. We had a shot on net. The rebound went wide, and our guy drilled a guy, maybe from behind or just a little bit questionable. No call, was no penalty. Their team did appreciate it, and we're not going to take no guff. We're just not going to do it.
You stand up for yourself. I don't mind that.
We're not going to take it.
Yeah.
Oh no,
So
we're not going to take it.
Now, were there penalties? Like, was the coach thrown out? Was the coach fined?
I
Is
was
the
not
team
asked.
in trouble?
I was not asked to leave this game, but I've been told I can't attend the next, along with the 5 kids on the ice.
So you're not allowed to attend the next game, and
he
5
got
guys were.
suspended, Yeah.
Okay, that happens.
So the tournament director, Rhett, what feedback did he have for you again? That was
Yeah,
fun.
afterwards we were trying to be coy about it, saying, well, maybe some of the kids didn't fight. Maybe it was just a 10. And he told me that this is the most disgusting thing he's ever seen, and it's shameful. And then I told him to go F his hat.
Well, there you go. That finishes. That's the cherry on top.
Yeah.
The minute you go back to the Western League comeback, everything is go F yourself. Like, no matter what, you could be you could burn somebody's house down. They get mad at you. You give them the Western League comeback. Well, F you. That ends all conversations. Like, I don't know. That is like, literally, we call it the O'Doyle wave, where you give out the middle finger. Like, it's just, it is what it is. So you had the Western League comeback at the end. That was the cherry on top. And that's what got you the coupon to stay home next game, or a couple. How many games did you get to stay home?
I think it's just one, I think, but yeah, it's,
Now
and
you've got
that
a
wasn't the reason
reputation.
why. That wasn't the reason why. That was with the tournament director. I
okay.
I didn't feel the need to be preached at. Noodles,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, that's true. You don't need.
It's a shame he missed the 90s and 2000s too.
Yeah,
There was
and
some really
usually-
good hockey back then.
Usually Rhett's really receptive to people giving him feedback like that.
Yeah, that is
So,
true. I mean,
yeah.
there's a farmer that lives in Viking who gives the type of feedback that, and the answers that you give back too. But it's, I don't know. You get frustrated, and it's not even an ego thing where I don't like being preached at too. You get these, what is it nowadays? They call them Karens, a male Karen or a women Karen. Like, everybody's got to, I need to tell you what I think. No, you don't. Like, just, you live your life. I'm going to live my life. Like, that's, in this context, this guy probably wanted to read you the riot act. You're like, I'm not hearing it. Take a lap. I'll take my,
Exactly what it was.
yeah.
And
It
I
is what
like,
it is.
it wasn't just F you, it was F your hat.
That's right. Yeah.
It was specific.
It was.
Yeah.
Shitty
Take
hat
this
on.
and go do it to your.
I don't want you
ugly
having fun
hat.
here. This is going to be your hat.
I'm
All
going
right,
to take
Jamie.
this behind the counter and do this to your
Yeah.
hat.
Thanks for coming in. We got to get you to morning skate. It's a game
Yes.
day.
And
Will
what
you
is
be-
it? Which one can I take?
There's
This one?
flats just on the table
Oh, okay.
over there.
I'm
Take
going to
whatever
leave
you
this,
want. Yeah.
but I'm taking some of your stock here. Now, I can't get it on the plane because I've got to carry on. So that means I'm going to drink it in the next 24 hours.
Well, Pinder
Right,
might
right.
have a bit of a connection, potentially.
I've told you guys this. I'm happy to like, this is an organic thing for me. Like, I'm glad that they're involved, but like, I'm still paying for mine at Costco. I don't want anything free.
If you'd like that to stop, you just let me know.
I like it that much. That's what it is. Like, I'm not being.
They might like you that much. with all
He's
the
not
free plugs I
complaining
got.
about Noodles is
Yeah.
not complaining about the price of Cove. It's the tape that's getting them. We're gonna
Tape, yeah, like but
Yes.
I don't like free stuff because then you feel like, okay,
Hey,
yes.
Think about it as the guy sharpening your skates. That's all it is. Okay.
That's it.
You don't have to worry about pain anymore.
I love them. Cove, there it is, and this flavor too.
There you go. Thank you, Jamie. Good
guys,
talking
you
to you. We appreciate you. We'll take a quick break. Get Jamie out of here. Back with more in 2 minutes. Dallas, obviously, enter to win one of 6 monthly prizes, including tickets to Calgary hockey games, awesome tech like AirPods, Apple Watches, and more. No purchase necessary. All you have to do is fill out a quick survey to enter for your chance to win. Go online, tellus.com/Flames contest. Fellas, how we doing?
He's always great, man. That guy can tell stories all day.
Yeah, he's always great. And I mean, he works so hard at what he's doing now, too, right? He's traveling all over the place. He's talking to people.
It's a big show he's on there. I don't know that in Western Canada people realize how big that show is.
Yeah, it's
probably the most listened to sports radio broadcast in the country by a significant margin.
Yeah, and I think even before, I'm thinking timeline because it was a midday show, wasn't it? And then they moved it to afternoons.
Yeah,
and then Bob McCowan was either asked to leave or left.
I was their competition because he's a TSN. Bob was across the street at 590.
And then I was saying, I think they were starting to really make inroads before Bob left. And then when McCowan was gone, it was
not to get too nerdy, but they had some presence outside of the market and had a lot of downloads at other places. I don't know that Bob was necessarily the same, although he was on TV for a while. But you could see the tide was turning. You could see it.
Oh, Doug. He's a beauty. He is a beauty. Well, there you go. So the Senators and the Flames tonight. It's just the Senators are surly. How about that?
They should be so much better, man. You look at this roster, you're like, how is this team so bad? And I understand they've got like 5 games in hand on the Flames, for example, but
they should be better.
You're bringing Giroux and Tarasenko on top of all those young pieces we talked about. Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. And as he had said, Stützle's having a fine season. And I don't know if I mean, we know that Matthew has more of the offensive upside than Brady. Brady's the captain. Awesome. It's not a terrible year, but he's I don't know. Right? I would still take that because people say, oh, careful what you wish for. You get a rebuild and look what Ottawa's happening or what's happening in Ottawa. I think I'd still take what's happening in Ottawa. I'd be okay watching some young guys and then kind of shrugging your shoulders, wondering why it's not working as opposed to trotting out old goats and knowing why it's not working.
Brady's 24. Like you're in peak point production age right now. They should be better. I get that they're young, but like Sanderson's young. The rest of these guys are on second contracts. Like they should be going.
It feels like it's going to work, though, does it not?
I think it is going to work. I think they've got good people there. I think the owner's good. Staios is good. Yeah. I don't know Dave Poulin, but lots of great talk around or about him, when you hear people mention his name. And I just can't help but look at that talent pool that they have and go, this looks like, and I actually do believe, I think they'd be best to F up this season now. There's no sense going on a hot streak and getting the 15th pick.
Totally. Yeah. And it was such a cultural disaster too. Like Melnick passing away. No one wanted to say it, but you're like, well, at least it won't be as much of a shit show around there. And his daughters came in and immediately you could see things got straightened out. But Dorion was a part of that. DJ Smith, 5 years. Like, you got to do something. Of course. The rep was that he was a great motivator, but not a great tactical guy when he left Toronto as an assistant there. Like, there's a lot of cultural stuff that's been cleaned up, but there's got to be also a lot of frustration because expectations were rightfully high there. I hate their goalies. Like, I'm sorry. You had Gustafsson and gave him away, and that's the best of anyone they've seen in the last 3, 4, 5 years. Even Talbot's having a great year.
The guys that made those decisions, though, are different people. Yeah. It is what it is, and wasn't it between two ferns with Borowiecki or whatever? Like,
Borowiecki. Yeah, gross.
You think back to that, like, really? That's not that long ago.
Pierre Dorion makes hockey decisions. The rebuild is over. Melnick was just a PR nightmare. He was talking about moving the team when they hosted the outdoor game. Like, it was like, what is going on here?
I looked this morning and they're slowly getting out of the dysfunction, but they still owe a first round, or they're going to sacrifice a first round pick for that Evgeny Dadonov trade with Vegas. Remember, they had the no trade list and whatever. They're going to lose a first rounder in 24, 25, or 26. Don't do it in 24. I would think based on how this year is going, you're going to want to keep that first rounder. So, but they couldn't get out of their own way. The cab ride.
The cab ride,
where the Uber driver videoed Matt Duchene cutting down. I mean, front office people going rogue and doing.
It's a shit show when they don't want to involve guys like Daniel Alfredson.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Yeah. I agree with that 100%. And even like it was like Melnick owes $500,000 to some yacht owner in the Bahamas. You're like, what is going? This is a circus. Like, what the fuck?
And a lot of people talk about Brian Murray. Kind of was the guy that kept it together there, and then once he passed, it kind of went south. So, anyway,
yeah. Well, we've never talked more Ottawa Senators.
It's a lot. Oof.
Name that senator. Something like that. Meanwhile, the Flames coming back after the road trip, first game back, didn't practice or skate yesterday. They've lost a couple in a row. What are we thinking for tonight? Knowing that they're going back on the road, this feels like a game that if they just kind of mentally skated through that game in Chicago, I wonder what this one's going to be like tonight.
Yeah, come home, do laundry, hit the road again, right? This is a tight turn, 1-game homestand, but you probably get Gilbert back, I'd think, given that they sent Kuznetsov back down. I like him more than the Osterley DeSimone thing. So that would be, if it does happen, good. I don't know. I mean, you'd understand this is a tough one to play. They've got more skill on the other side. You've got the better goalie. Markstrom's named as the starter. We'll see where the chips fall.
I would be concerned of the focus.
Yeah.
That's not an easy be gone, come home, play a game, and plan to leave the next day. That's typically not ideal.
And it's just a short little trip, but to your point, you were just on the road, and now you're back into that because you're in Phoenix on Thursday, Vegas on Saturday, and then back home. I don't like the way it shapes up, but to your point, Ryan, I think at the end of the night, it might be, is Markstrom going to be good enough?
Yeah.
And if he is, then that might be the tipping point. Not sure why it's gone the way it has in Ottawa.
They are practicing here tomorrow, so they'll practice, then fly to Arizona. I was wondering if they'd go after tonight's game, but yeah, it's a lot of road hockey. They basically left after the New Year's Eve game, and they'll be back for 1 game, and it'll be halfway through the month. That's it.
How many games have they played now? Are we at the halfway?
This is 41. After tonight, you're halfway there.
So what is our halfway point observations or report card, or how do we feel about this team?
A+ for Huska, I think. A+ for Markstrom. I would give
A+ for Coleman.
A+ for Coleman.
A- for Kadri.
Sure.
A+ for Zary.
Yeah.
A+ for Zary. I think the D-core in general, especially losing a top 6 guy, has played pretty well. I'd
Probably
give them
B's for your
B+.
Yeah, for your Uyghur, Anderson, Hanifin. Tanev, he's still going, but you can see the age a bit.
Overall, it's you know what though? It also goes to expectations, and they gave us such a shitty start that we expected nothing from them. Now you give them a passing grade at their, what are they, 500?
Under.
Yeah, but right around 500.
Under,
you're almost like, they're playing pretty good. Well, that's not a positive, right? Like that should be considered a negative indictment of the team.
To get back to 500 was a bit of a feat given the hole they put themselves in, but you're right. The record on the whole is they're losing more than they win by a considerable margin. Like they've won 17 out of 40 games.
And if you would have said at the start of the year, I wonder what Zary's report card will be at the halfway point, you'd be like, I don't watch the Wranglers a ton.
For the Wranglers?
I don't. Are we talking about the big club? So that's obviously been a plus for him.
Well, and we talked about the success stories. I mean, it's been a really disappointing UFA year for Elias Lindholm. That's unavoidable. Not that he hasn't been serviceable and good, but he hasn't been great. And this is a year as a player, as the agent, as the team trying to sell him. It'd be a good year to have a great year. This is certainly not that. Jonathan Huberdeau, I think if we thought last year was rock bottom, this year has redefined what that could be in some ways. Dylan Dubé's had the toughest year of his career by a mile, in my opinion. Adam Ruzicka, it feels like it's the end of the line for him pretty soon here as an NHLer. Mangiapane has not made a step forward. There's been lots of guys that haven't had great years too.
And you've absolutely wasted Markstrom.
Yeah. I don't think he was part of the solution in those first 10 games, but he's been arguably their best player since. Him and Zeri and
You've
Kadri.
got a goalie that's in Vezina conversation. You
Yep.
should be in a better position. Like
Totally. Yeah, you switch goaltending with Ottawa, I think the standings look a whole lot different for both these teams.
It's crazy, right? I mean, it's hard to wrap your head around. So there you see, that's what we're looking at for
Of
tonight.
note, Dylan Dubé.
Yeah.
You don't see him there.
Dewar, Greer, and Ruzicka on that fourth line. The rest remains the same. And to your point, Dylan Dubé will be a spectator.
That's a hoof.
It's at the same time, it probably could have happened long ago.
That's finally happening. That's what it is. Yeah.
So,
and Kuznetsov's in there, so they must have just papered him down to the A for the off day to save a little cap space, and they bring him back up. That's interesting.
Well, yeah, I was gonna, if Gilbert's back, it'd be a major dodge of a bullet because he sure looked like he was in a bad way. Not to laugh about it, but I mean, he was out cold almost. So.
Yeah, he was on the trip to the statue in Philly the next day was the only thing that sort of changed my thought on it. Like if he's in a bad way, he's not going to see the sights in Philly the next day, is he?
No one should be going to see the sights in Philly anyway. Let's be honest.
That's what Cutter Gauthier said. Yeah,
that was quite something. Hey,
that is a blockbuster on a lot of levels. If there's a Canadian team involved here, I think that's way bigger news today.
Huge, yes.
Because these are both guys that were selected in the top 5 of their respective draft class. Both guys are kind of expected to be star to superstar caliber players. Both expected to be franchise pillars, and those trades just don't happen.
Would you say good job by Briere? I would.
Yeah, and like here's the thing: they kept it quiet that he wasn't talking to them. It wasn't quiet yesterday when they made the trade. They made it very clear this guy was being a prick, and that's it fits Philly. Like if there's one game I can go see in the NHL next year, I want to see Anaheim and Philly because that scene would be unbelievable.
Cutter Gauthier better not be playing in Philly anytime soon.
Like next year, that's probably what's got to happen.
Night off, son. Sorry.
So do you?
Pat Verbeek's not giving him a night off. He wants to see what he's made of, right?
So. Are you kind of criticizing Philly's handling of it, or
no? I just thought like it was so quiet. I guess they're going to be asked, why would you trade a 5th overall? But it was like he got aerated pretty good in Philly. Al Morganti was on the intermission last night and was like, "That's something not to give."
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I know the media would crush him for sure, but I thought that.
Well, the media didn't know anything about it, right? Until the Philly said it. That's my point.
Yeah, because Briere made the point. We knew he didn't want. He was going to be a flyer. He wanted to be a flyer, and then he didn't want to be a flyer. We tried to keep it quiet because if he changed his mind and then did want to be a flyer, it was going to be hard for him to maybe put the jersey back on after he had said, "I don't want to be in Philadelphia. I don't want to be a part of this team." It might be hard for him. So, I don't know what happened. Something's up, right? That's
weird for an American. Like, I get it if it's like. You get a Western Canadian boy that doesn't want to go to Carolina or Columbus, or it's like Adam Fox is a Rangers fan and he wants to go play there. But it's not like Cutter Gauthier like grew up in Orange County. I don't believe. Like it's very odd to see. Like he's a Pittsburgh guy. Some of the stuff from his draft where they put you through the car wash right after is pretty funny. It's like, what do you like about the Flyers? Like those orange jerseys. Who's your favorite player? Sidney Crosby. You're like, oh, he hates the Flyers.
But I mean, gosh, it'd be like a Calgary kid getting drafted to Edmonton or vice versa. You get over that pretty quick when that's
where's the contract? Where's my jersey? Let's go.
Yeah,
has some leverage.
That's the thing, right? Maybe the kid has good reason for it, and he's going to be judged by this, and maybe something went wrong. But we've talked about this before, Rhett, that you'd never see it where kids just give me the jersey. I'm happy to play.
Yeah.
This is quite a line in the sand to draw by a young player.
Yeah. And I think it is different than Fox because Fox was such a project later pick. And by the time you're talking with him, he's almost at the end of college. This is a top 5 pick. This is wild.
Yeah.
And it's not an undesirable, like, clearly it's not desirable for Gauthier, but Philly is not most hockey people would be like, I'd love to throw a Flyers jersey.
Yes.
Like,
Like that's a market that cares about hockey a lot. That's a weird place to say no to. Like I understand the Lindros to Quebec thing. There's another language. It's another culture. It's still a dick move, but an American saying no to Philly is really odd.
It is odd. And now, is it true? Because I kind of skimmed through the stuff last night because it was just coming in that Briere and Jones flew to Sweden to talk to the kid, and the kid wouldn't meet them.
World Juniors.
They flew to Sweden. Obviously, he had to cover the juniors, but he wouldn't even.
No, and they apparently were on to like something's a little wrong here. Like we got to sit down with this kid and see where he's at. He wouldn't even meet with them, and so that's where Morganti was torching him. Like you won't even give Danny Briere and Keith Jones the time of day to talk.
Yeah, that's
you don't have to sign here, but not to meet with like Hall of Fame caliber players and humans. Like that's the real step out.
That would be my take on things. It's fine to have an opinion on where you want to go, and it's hard when you don't own your rights. Really, you can try and play your cards. It's odd that you don't want to go to Philly, but fine if that's your thing. To be an asshole about it, who do you think you are, kid? Like,
and he's good.
You can meet and you can say no, and you can say I don't want to play here, but you don't give the bird to these guys. Like, who do you think you are?
The only thing that would be better is if he went to like
Pittsburgh,
Rangers or Pittsburgh, but a team that they're gonna see more often, or as a bigger market, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
they'll play the Ducks once a year or twice a year, and then it'll be all about nothing. But
you guys remember Tim Erickson here?
Oh yeah,
that's another one. No one talked about it because he just ended up playing in Hartford forever. Like he was an AHLer, but that one could have stung. That's a first rounder the Flames couldn't sign, and I think that was what the Horak
More
deal.
Importantly, why did you pick him at that spot?
Yeah, I mean, he was
right. Like a top 5 pick. You're going to do here would be my criticism, and I don't know if it matters, but my criticism of Briere would be picking him. Yeah. If you've not figured out that he doesn't want to be a Flyer by that point, you've dropped the ball in that instance.
Yeah, and they said he wanted to, but it's like dig harder. He's a Pittsburgh kid. Get to the bottom of this. Like they're saying the right thing, and there's. It's
hard to know though, right?
Yeah, for sure it is.
If the kid tells you, I'd love to be a Flyer.
And to be fair, after 2 seasons, Adam Fox said he was keen to come to Calgary, and then everything
That's
changed.
a 5th overall pick too, right? Are you going to get too cute? I'm not sure I liked his tone. Let's pass on this guy. But you're right. That's a top draft pick, and
that's why I think Briere did all right there with the trade, because I think this Drysdale's a bit of a stud himself, so
big time, and has had tough go with injuries of late. He had a tough negotiation with Verbeek last year because of his games played, he had no sort of case. And Verbeek's playing hardball, and I get it. Like you're not contending. If you need to keep one of these guys at UFA and they've got the leverage, sure, let them use it. But right now, find the guys you want, play hardball, get them on good deals, and when you're close to a cup, sure, we'll overpay if we have to. But like. Drysdale's a hell of a player, and they get the second if it's the Ducks, and I haven't seen that if it is or isn't. If it's the Ducks second, like that, call it a first. They're picking top 3, right?
And the kid's name's Cutter,
Denny's boy.
Cutter Gauthier, Denny's kid. Not sure that's accurate. It's Denny. Lives in Pittsburgh.
Google it.
Right. This is a good play. Why don't we just get right to the Pinder Report? We've taken some of the shine off of the Cutter Gauthier story, but maybe it's in there. Time for the Pinder Report, a presentation of Village Honda. Hey, have the temperatures gotten a little chilly? Maybe, just maybe, that vehicle that you're driving around feels a little bit less reliable. You're a little bit more worried about being left on the side of the road. Maybe it's time to step up. Maybe it's time for an upgrade. Where else but Village Honda? New in-stock inventory arriving on the ground daily, plus their huge selection of used, all makes, all models, all budgets. 70 units on site, 400 more inside the dealership group. Make Village Honda your dealership for life. Village Honda in the Northwest Auto Mall presents the Pinder Report.
Fellas, Flames and Sens tonight. We've talked a lot about that. Let's quickly look at some of the news around the Flames as Jacob Pelche and the Rune Dog taken off IR yesterday. Okay, so Rooney, they put on waivers, probably going to clear and go down to the A today. You want him to play a bit. There'll be a little bit of a cap hit with him being healthy, but he's out of LTIR. And I don't know. Darryl Sutter did not want to see Kevin Rooney in the NHL. We'll see if he looks like D. Simone, a guy that you probably could have used last year if you knew what he was. I don't know. We'll find out. It was a weird signing at the time, Dean, but there may be a 4th line center there especially if you're moving out Lindholm. I don't know that Ruzicka's been undeniable.
Mhm.
You're already short on centers. Maybe there is some Rooney ice between now and the end of the year with the Flames.
It was a weird ad. He was a day one, hour 2 or 3 UFA ad by Treliving. It's like, who is a Ranger? Said that's kind of a lot of money for a fourth line guy. This guy must be really good. And then he wasn't really good or very good, and then got injured. So I would think for him, he'd love to get a crack at it, right? If we talked about Pacioretty yesterday, you battle back and you rehab from an injury. Just give me a chance. It's all he wants. So maybe he gets in. We'll see.
Also, Jacob Pelche will head to the American League. The logistics on Pelche, not as complicated. He does not need waivers. Pretty damn good when we last checked in last year before he came up. So I think it's about get to game pace, get your cardio back, and then, with him and Coronado knocking at the door, you want to shed a forward or two. I wouldn't be against that,
Yeah. And we liked him even at the NHL level.
Yes.
Oddly, he was a guy that seemed to have a little bit of, I don't know if we want to call it chemistry, but there was a bit of a, kinship between he and Huberdeau. Maybe it's because they're, French Canadian, whatever it is. But I look forward to seeing him on the ice at the NHL level to see if he's another one. If you got Zary, Pospisil, Coronado, and if this guy can come in, play the kids, let's go. So a shitty, that was a serious injury too. Yeah. You knew as soon as he went down, the way his arm was hanging, no good. So happy for the kid.
Surgery in October, November, December, it's 4 months. That's not nothing.
Yeah.
Look at the inverse standings, fellas. Big one tonight. Top of the table clash here. We
really
things around. Minnesota, get your shit together. Get the hell out of here. And the Sens with 5 games in hand are way back in points, but not that far back by points percentage.
Well, even Buffalo, go talk to the guys there, Rhett. Go have a chat with the Sabres. Get in there.
Well, they're doing their best to F things up here in Buffalo for sure.
Yeah, we need them winning, though. We need the Flames.
Yeah, we want them to get some wins here.
You see what we're doing here, Rhett?
I know, but their approach is the same. I think they're recognizing that maybe they're not that good, so they're going to try to go south as well.
Ottawa looks like this. We talked about all the young skill. There's lots of it. Stützle on the second line with Giroux. Kachuk on the top line with Josh Norris.
What's that fancy symbol? What's that fancy symbol with Joseph?
He's a game time decision tonight.
Poisonous. Do not swallow. That's not a last place hockey team.
No, God, no. And they're not last. They, points percent. They were over in Sweden. They're way behind in games played. They're last in the East. They're third or fourth in the bottom, but
29th points percentage.
Yeah, so third from the bottom, fourth from the bottom. Chabot, Zub, Chikrin, Sanderson. Brandstrom was supposed to be a big piece in the Stone deal.
Yeah,
third pair.
But you look at that defense and go, that's.
I wonder if Thomas Chabot isn't the modern day Derek Morris, where when your team's really bad and he comes in and he can do a lot of things, you love him, but it's like he ain't a one.
He's injured. He was injured too. Got it hurt.
Sanderson already is being spoken of in a different light.
Well, you can have a 1 to 6, right? Chabot doesn't have to be better, right?
Still
be really good.
I just think the way people are talking about him was he's going to be an all-star. The Norris is. It's maybe he's just a solid Hannafin type guy. I don't know.
He's better.
Why do you hate Derek Morris?
Love Derek Morris. So good. Young gun. Clearly he was going to win a bunch of Norrises. Morris for Norris? Wasn't is that the sign you made? Had it on your window?
Loved it.
T-shirt.
Still have it. Haven't taken it down.
Good luck this year. Big swap. We talked about it. Gauthier for Drysdale in a second. High picks, young players, potential stars on both sides of this one, and an extra second rounder goes to Philly. Drysdale, a little bit older, struggled with injury. I think he was a half point per game player as a 19-year-old in this league as a defenseman.
Hey, Cutter, why do you hate Philly?
That's a better question.
Hates Philly. Hates cheesesteak. Hates he hates Jalen Hurts.
Hates the Rocky movies.
You know what it was? It was the Eagles. He was like, I'm not going there. The Eagles
can't do it.
Play this way.
Look at this loser city.
No, won't do it.
Yeah.
And Frank Seravalli.
Yeah, I hate Frank Seravalli.
Yeah.
Can't stand boxing movies.
You know who he'd like, though? I'm sure it really was tough to do this, given how much he would love Torts. I bet Torts would love this guy's program.
I wonder. I mean, is that part of it?
Cotter didn't want to play here in Philadelphia and didn't want to play for the Flyers. What's your reaction to that?
Then we don't want you.
I believe you've met Cotter or Gauthier before. Were you surprised that he?
I don't know Cotter from a hole in a wall, so, and I'm not too interested in talking about him. I'd rather talk about Jamie. He's the guy that's coming here.
I'm actually surprised Torts didn't have more to say, but I get his point.
I just wish it was more of that Belichick press conference where like 5 or 6 other reporters keep trying to get him to talk about Gauthier. That would have been better.
When's the last time we've seen it? Because he's mellowing it as he gets older. Hey, we haven't really seen a good Torts explosion.
I know. I think the team's playing well enough. And
Yeah?
they're outplaying expectations, so the media's not kind of on him. So
we need Mount Torts to erupt at some point.
Yeah.
Give us some goods.
Well, if they fall out of a playoff spot, which I think is probably inevitable more than unlikely,
yeah, man,
this will heat up. And they got some UFAs to decide on. That's interesting.
Because there was some of that, of course, the innuendo online last night. One of the was Anthony Sanfilippo of the Flyer media said, you know what? I mean, Kevin Hayes has his fingerprints are all over this, suggesting that Kevin Hayes, who of course was in Philly, healthy scratched by Torts, leaves, and he's now in St. Louis Blue, that he was in this kid's ear saying, you don't want to be in Philadelphia, the Fly. You don't want any part of this. So there's a lot of, it's a crime novel being written right now with everything going on between Cotter and the Flyers. Maybe he said, you don't want to play for this Tortorella guy. He's no good.
We leave Thursday morning for Phoenix. I'm wondering if our next year's trip isn't Flyers Ducks, because think about the verbal assault he'll take. Like in Calgary for Adam Fox's games, he still years later gets booed on every single puck touch. And I was there the first time he came back. It was insane. And it was like,
I suggest Cotter does not go to Philly ever. Just avoid.
I get your recommendation.
I'm not joking. Those fans
going.
don't F around. The fans in Calgary will boo the odd
That's
time.
what I mean. It's like next level in Philly.
Like
Cutter's day to day.
If he just played Flames fan.
Yeah, he just played 2 nights ago. Yeah, he's day to day. Hurt feelings.
Flu.
Yeah,
the Broadway flu. Elsewhere, Canucks, they're good this year, fellas. I don't know if you saw last year versus this year. They've already beaten last year's regulation win total.
That's how you do it.
They're not at the midpoint yet. That's good.
Stockett, is it done? Is that coach of the year?
I mean, Rick Bowness should be there. Laviolette, if the Rangers win. There's some company, but it's tough to go against a first-year guy with low expectations.
Like that graphic there. That's not over a 2 or 3 year.
No.
24 wins last year, 25 in 40 this year. That's incredible. That's impressive. You may hate the Canucks, but you don't overhaul your entire roster in an off season. I wonder how's Boudreau feel, or even Minnesota when they turn around. What is Evason? The coaches that leave and then their teams immediately turn it around.
You know, like it's tough for some of the guys that lay the foundation, Dean, and then the next guy that like comes into the chair gets all the credit and stuff.
Yeah.
Bruce, Gabby and I, we went for like a coffee. Hey, it's tough.
It's like when your ex, you break up with your chick and see her on social media. Are they in Monaco? Is that a yacht? What the God damn shit.
I gave her those earrings.
I took her to the Chucks. Like, what? We had good times, didn't we, babe?
Calgary Hitman made a big swap. Sean Shigal. He gone. Off to, look at this, interprovincial. Settle down, Lethbridge. Off to the Hurricanes.
Hey, settle down, Lethbridge.
Some more picks being added by the Hitman. That's not a bad idea. Second and a third. Okay, very good. Wanted to get a little Hitman love in there.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo Bills are written off, Rhett, when they, fell to 500? And the real fans, the real believers, the real NFL heads knew. Good news for the rest of us, if we don't remember, here are the people that thought they were dead. A nice little reel put together by the Bills.
Bills are 10th in the AFC. Jeff Saturday, are they done?
They're done. Allen turns the ball over entirely too much. We are one. We are one. We are one.
Well, their season is obviously over, and it's over for a lot of reasons. Yes, they were on the cover of Madden, and they're going to miss the playoffs.
I just kind of feel like they've blown it. It's an accumulation of games blown and opportunities not seized.
What are we doing? Week in and week out, Josh Allen has 11 interceptions on the season, leading the league again.
You guys so badly wanted to pretend the Bills were some supernova, but they're just a falling star.
Oh, and they very well could be with a host of other teams sitting around just like us watching the games come playoff time.
That is correct.
Hey, now, you know what?
Steen.
Now, listen. People think it's easy doing daily sports talk. It's a hard job, people. You have to have an opinion and hot takes. You know what? That's unfair, what they just did right there. Making people look bad by holding them accountable to things that they've said. These people have jobs where they have to be on every single day.
Lucky for us, we don't have any opinions and we just play it down the middle here.
That's right.
Some egg on Twitter was yelling at me saying, you're Calgary's biggest fence sitter, Pinder. Have an opinion. I thought, the fuck is going on here? Yeah. Is that my legacy? Are you awake?
Say something, this Ryan Pinder.
I wish you'd care.
God, own it.
The opposite of that hot takery is a very respectful back and forth between Jameis Winston of the New Orleans Saints and a reporter. You want to talk about dumb media questions and disrespect in the media, Rhett? Winston has no time for that. It's all about respect. Let's have a listen.
Do you think we regret that?
Well, you do have to play these guys twice a year. That's all I'm saying.
We already played them twice.
I know, but I'm talking about the future. Somebody's got to play these guys twice a year. That's all.
How do you feel about it? Tell me how you feel about it.
Not good.
Why don't you feel good about it?
Because you got to play these guys twice a year.
But what about it makes you not feel good about it?
I just don't. The head coach tells you to kneel it out. You're asking my opinion?
Yes.
I think you should have kneeled it out.
Okay. Well,
I'm just telling you as respectfully as I can. You answer my question as respectfully as you could, and I'm telling you as respectfully as I can that I respectfully disagree with you. That's all.
You disagree with me or the entire team?
Whoever made that decision.
Okay. So you disagree with the entire team. So thank you.
No, I'm just being honest and respectful.
And that's what I'm attempting to do too. Yes. And that's what I am doing.
So,
yes.
Very respectful back and forth. That
Very
was
respectfully.
Fun. Yeah.
Why did you waste our time?
Now, but you know what? Because I think we all know the context by now. That was on Sunday, where you don't know what happened there. So it's the end of the Saints and Atlanta Falcons game.
Divisional game.
It is. I mean, it's the Saints are up 41-17 or something. Interception, last play of the game, down at the 1. There goes my focus. And Dennis Allen, the coach of the Saints, says, we're going to do victory formation. We're going to kneel it down and run out the clock. In the huddle, Jameis Winston and the guys say, we're going to run this thing in. Get Jamal Williams a touchdown. Jamal Williams, everybody loves him. He doesn't have a touchdown yet this year. Mm-hmm. Fuck victory. We're going to run this in. So instead of taking a knee to run the clock out, they punch it in to go up again. And the Falcons did not like it. Correct. One bit. He's like, what the coach who has now been fired, but he's upset about it. So it's about disrespecting the coach and
F that. It's about the team and the coach is there to
support his teammate, Rhett.
That's right. That's right. They care about each other. That might be important.
It's like putting your top power play unit on when you're up 7-2 in late in the third period.
They did it for a reason. Your top power play unit, if there's no reason this guy hadn't scored, they want to get him touchdown.
Yeah. So there it is. Because they're even showing that they're going to take a knee. They're not even lined up as though they're going to. Jameis Winston is really something. Again, I think it's on DAZN. The Hard Knocks when he was the QB with Tampa Bay. He's a unique dude. He's
Well, and
on.
didn't he get busted like shoplifting crab legs in college or something hilarious
Something
like that?
yeah, was it him?
He
Yeah, it was
seems
something
like
like
a really
that.
normal, not a weirdo, like and high event player. Like
I think he's a weirdo. Remember, he was eating his fingers, eating W's and stuff. He's
if Josh Allen's turnover ratio gets you upset, careful with Winston. This is like high event player. There's a touchdown every play. It seems like pick six or the other way.
Respectfully.
What's up? Respectfully, we'll move along. Rhett, you got to get kids just, you can't be talking about the NHL with your 6-year-old. You can't be talking about the best goalie in Ontario. You just want them to have fun on the ice so they want to come back next time. That's a win for all you coaches out there, eh? 100%. Here's a little Timbits drill for courtesy Russia. Here you go.
Кто хочет поработать?
Нет, спасибо, это мне, знаете, никак не хочется.
How do you not have fun doing that?
Well, I'm more concerned with what we don't know what they said right there. Like,
no, we don't. They could have said anything. Yeah,
that could be translated into something.
Please consult your physician before taking any advice.
I'm going to give anyone that can skate backwards and is a coach and has kids this age.
Yeah,
lay them on their backs with their gear on and pick up their feet and haul them around and give them a couple spins.
Yep,
absolute home run.
Mm-hmm.
You are coach of the day, if not the year, immediately.
They want to come back, Rhett. That's a win.
Love it.
I thought we'd played this earlier, but we hadn't. And so when I got it sent to me again and again and again, the people have spoken. They want Rhett to see this because I think it's Razor's backyard. And he's got that trampoline in the backyard, Rhett.
Oh, yeah. He loves to bounce.
That's the opposite. I'm not supposed to bend, fellas. I don't know if you.
Oh, because I saw that when I saw that the day after. I forget what the last one was. Was a guy jumping off his roof or something? Because we had another one.
Yeah,
where dude's knees just buckled right underneath him.
Like, do you replace kids' knees?
That's a spine replacement there. I don't think we do those yet in society.
It is stunning to me how many dumb videos there are now that you've started playing these things in here
every day. Yeah,
full unbelievable how many dumb people there are.
Now, if there's one thing we could close a Pinder Report with, what would it be? There's one common theme here that exists nowhere else in any sports talk landscape.
Respect.
Yeah, we already hit respect. We can't out-respect that.
It's not food.
Animal?
Oh, is it a kangaroo?
Let's go to Australia. This shit doesn't stop.
Some drone footage.
Oh, this is a guy coming in after skydiving.
Oh, I see.
His parachute open. Got a nice little target area. There you see the shadow.
What's up, Skip? Hey, look off! Look off! Go away! Oh. Fucking kangaroos.
They're assholes.
They really are assholes.
Fuck off. I love the exhale at the end.
Fucking kangaroos.
Skip.
They don't even eat meat. They're just eating grass, being assholes. They're not hungry. They're just assholes.
Is there any redeeming quality? Like, do they? It's
no.
Like bats eat mosquitoes or whatever. Like, I still want to go to Australia, but
there's too much that you're afraid of, Dean. Oceans, spiders, snakes, kangaroos,
sharks.
Yeah.
There's altogether too many shark videos out there right now. I think the sharks are pissed off.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably got good reason to be pissed off. They kill like 3 guys a year, and we're wiping out millions a year. They'd be. What's on the ledger here, fellas?
They're attacking kayakers and all this stuff. Yeah. I think that they have. It's their New Year's resolution, 2024. Look out!
You're the
Stay
shark.
out of the water.
Heard it here first on the Pinder Report. Or Village Honda.
Village Honda, located in the Northwest Auto Mall. New vehicle pricing is always MSRP. Start your automotive adventures at Village Honda, your dealership for life. Village Honda.
Doing a little Cutter Goche deep dive. His father, Sean, played in Sweden, and 3 NHL appearances, perfect save percentage, 1,000. Never let in a goal. Sharks, 98.
So how do you not get work after that, you know? Maybe that's that Cutter, it's built-in anger.
Yeah.
Just hatred towards all of it.
After that, it was Kentucky Thoroughbreds, the Louisville Panthers, the
Louisville Kenslaga,
the Reading Royals, and then off to Sweden.
Did we watch the college football championship game last night?
Red, that would have been huge down there.
It would have been, but the house is full of sick, and I was avoiding it at all costs. So
you stay away from those sickos.
It's not good. I guess the flu is. It's well, I already had one kid in the hospital, so clearly it's not good.
Yeah.
Which is weird. You would have some sort of a cure there, wouldn't you? Some mat or a mask or earphones or something that would help all
I
that?
don't like to share with them.
Yeah, it's not Ask Rhett, Dean. Save that for Thursday.
That's right. Yeah. Speaking of which, Bonton meets every Thursday, except this Thursday. What are we going to do with it this week?
Let's do it on Friday from Scottsdale.
Get your questions in. Ask Rhett. Presentation of Bonton Meets. The email address is askrhett@flamesnation.ca. Whatever. Sometimes you need guidance. Sometimes it's hard. You want to be inconspicuous. You want to be anonymous, but you have something going on in your life that you just need some guidance and some help. And Rhett's the guy. Rhett's the guy to set you straight, to give you the advice, the
leadership,
the experience that you have. Not many people have. And it's free.
Great insights. If you just have to ask the right questions,
Yeah.
but be respectful.
Be respectful, respectfully, and I am being respectful when I say this.
Being respectful as I can
I'm
be.
being very respectful.
I'm also trying to be respectful.
Yeah. I forgot to do a Betway bet today, Ryan.
I got a couple in there. We got Flames and Sens from the Dome. It's our only home game in Calgary for the big club in a while, so we can take a peek at that if you'd like.
All right, well, Betway bets then. Let's do the Betway bets. Get the Betway app on your phone. Get on your desktop, your tablet, your laptop, however you want to do it. Just get it and then bet a responsible way with Betway. Getting excited for the weekend of football. Might be a time just to go in, check what your balance is there. Maybe you want to top it up and be ready, and then do some big time winning.
Like a Boy Scout, Dean, you're always prepared.
Prepare. That's my thing. What do you got? There we go.
Okay, so we're chasing some bigger numbers today. I think, look, Markstrom starting, he's great. That could be the wild card in all of this, but the Sens have more skill than the Flames. I think Brady Tkachuk's one of the few unicorns in the league that can play that true power forward role. 2+ points, plus 250. That's a bet I like. I also love Connor Zary and his play of late. One measly little assist, almost triple your money, plus 187. Don't mind that.
One assist, 187. Tkachuk, 2+ points. I have to. So there you go. Those are the Betway bets. This has been our thing all along. I don't watch a lot of Ottawa Senators hockey.
Try not to, yeah.
Even now, they're more exciting, I guess. They're more offensive. There's young skill and all that. I still don't find myself at all drawn to watching the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, if they get in a series with these young kids and it's like, okay, you got us now. But I think it's to the point where you have to do something to earn our attention at this point. You're all just prospects until you're actually players. And as a team, it sort of feels like this is still a prospect team in the sense that they haven't arrived.
Another thing I was thinking about just this morning, going over Ottawa. Okay, he was a first rounder and he's a first rounder. And as the Flames sit here, come on now, it's not even team tank. It's just team reload, whatever. And you think back to the last time they tried it with the first round picks that turned into
Mark Kandari.
Mark Kandari and
Emile Poirier, Morgan Klimchuk.
Emile Poirier, Klimchuk. Could you have done worse?
Kenny Agostino.
Out of that whole thing.
There was no players.
None.
You got nothing.
So don't do that, Craig.
Please, yeah.
For sure, don't do that. Because probably, I'm guessing, I'm trying to remember. You were happy to see the firsts. I just know that from where we were sitting, Agostino and who are these? There was not a lot of excitement about the players coming in, but you felt at least these first round. They're gonna look at they're gonna have what 3 first round picks,
and they did, and they hit on their own, which was Monahan. The other 2 they did not hit on. The best piece they got was actually Retro Biro or Rito Berra,
right?
Which is funny because they then flipped him for a second. That's really the most legitimate thing they got out of both the deals for Bouwmeester and Ginland. That's a little embarrassing.
It kind of is.
Who did that second turn into? That's a good question.
Yeah.
It may be someone on the roster today. Who knows? It could
and
be
that was
Killington Anderson or something like that.
That was you know what? I bet you're right there. I think they had those 2 seconds. Anyway, but that was a Brian Burke deal because I think already at that point hadn't Jay been let go, and before Brad came in, if I'm remembering that trade deadline correctly.
Yes, it was for the Rito Berra trade. It was.
Yeah.
Jay made the Bouwmeester and Iginla deals, and Treliving came in after that deadline for the what was it, the draft?
Didn't trade Camilleri at all, but did get a second rounder for Retro Biro. We've said Retro Biro for so friggin' long.
Yeah, it was that silly Don Cherry thing. That's
GTHL beauty. Who did those, by the way? I forget who did those.
Yeah, I can't recall either.
I feel for Dylan Dubé.
Hey man, feel all you want. It's
I
feel the worst year of your career. It sure is.
I feel for the scenario, I guess. He doesn't, no one should be shocked. But this was a second rounder who showed some offensive pop, who at the midway point of the season is healthy scratched.
How many goals? Do you have the line in front of you? Like times that by 2, that's his midseason total. He's not playing tonight.
Yeah, I know.
It's not what you've been banking on. 18 goals, and certainly on pace for less than 10 this year.
It's the world he lives in. It's the job he chose. So don't.
Yeah, and like, it's not like he's trying to crack an NHL contenders forward group.
He has cracked the group. He's played his way into this.
He's played from the top line at some points all the way down to the 4th line, and it's based on merit. And I think I enjoy the few interactions I've had with him. I think he's probably a wonderful human. I hear great things about him. It's a bad season and a bad time for one, because he's you got to qualify him at $2.4 million.
Can you say fugly? It's fugly.
Ooh, it is fugly. Never mind when you get Pelche and Coronado up, like two more guys will pass him at that point potentially.
I wouldn't have thought to call it fugly, but now that you've brought it up, I think it probably would fall into that category for sure. It's been fugly. Little DoorDash. Find out what's on the menu. See, with DoorDash, here's how it works. You get the app, right? Then you go to the app and say, what do I feel like? Maybe you know exactly what you want. I want this, done, shows up at your door. Or maybe it's just, what do I feel like today? What's going on? Maybe there's some deals. Who's close? Get on that DoorDash app. Ordering is easy. Shows up right outside your door. And for a limited time, our listeners and viewers get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more when you download that DoorDash app and enter promo code NATION25. NATION25. That's your promo code to kick in that deal. Now tonight, what is on the menu for DoorDash, Ryan?
Got a doubleheader of sorts, a couple dishes for Rhett. We'll start with some hockey, 7 o'clock. It is the Senators and Flames from the Scotiabank Saddledome. Rhett, you're going to be watching from Buffalo. We're going to need you to get something hot ordered right to your door. And then for the nightcap, if you can't sleep tonight, Raptors, as part of the North, facing the NBA Cup champions, whatever that is, in Los Angeles. That's LeBron, the old man, for the Lakers.
You got to get some. I think I'm going to go with some Penang chicken curry. Maybe some spicy soup. That Thai soup. What is it?
Oh, spicy soup.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Penang.
Yes. Try it, folks. Try it.
You still haven't tried bibimbap too, Dean. You got to get that in you. It's a hell of a dish.
I don't know what it is that you say when you say that. So I never know what to order.
By the way,
could I get some of that bibimbap?
Yeah, that'll work. If it's a Korean place, they're gonna hook you right up. Yeah, hook you right up. I found out who the second rounder was.
Yeah.
It was not the home run that Shillington and Anderson was the next year. It was the year before. Damn. And so if we know Berkey was around, and let's say he ran
truculence, we need truculence. Somebody that's truculent.
Round. There's only two.
Was it Hunter Smith?
It indeed was the big rig. Overager, Hunter Smith.
So again, don't do that, Craig. Don't do it.
So when it was all said and done, out the door went Jay Bomeister, one of the best skating defensemen in the history of the league.
Yeah.
Jerome McGinley, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And you got back. Yeah, I'm done.
Get the DoorDash app on your phone. Have it delivered right to your door.
Order
DoorDash,
something
dash
good.
that for the win.
Not nothing. Don't order nothing like the Flames got.
No, they did trade.
They were waiting at the front porch. They were waiting at the front porch, and nothing, and nobody showed up.
Oh, and they were told so much stuff was coming.
Were they ever?
A lot on the way.
Yeah, and it's going to be good.
They must not have used DoorDash. If that's
just wait till it gets there.
Ordered.
It's going to be so good.
Oh.
Goosh.
I'm going to see who they got back in the Klimberg deal. I'm sure that's the big piece.
Oh, yeah.
Because they had Klimberg, and I think it was some sort of offensive defenseman at the AHL level that.
Who are you talking about? Klimberg?
Klimchuk, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
They eventually traded him to the Marlies.
Well, and didn't they get... oh, shit. The coach... Anyway... Because I know there was a few guys that got swapped in and out there. It was, well, maybe this failed first round pick will be better than this failed first round pick. No.
Lazar.
Yeah, no, that was the second they gave up to get 2-goal Curtis Lazar out of Ottawa.
Who coached the Windsor Spitfires to the Memorial Cup?
Bugner?
Ooh,
no, I don't know if okay.
Wasn't Bugner.
Oh, it was Bugner. The other guy?
Right. When Taylor Hall was there.
Reichel.
Kirby Reichel was one of those guys that came in one of those deals.
Yeah, it was Andrew Nielsen they acquired.
Ooh.
Who never did get out of the Adirondack Stockton type area of the organization.
Wow.
Yeah, still nothing.
Still nothing, eh?
DoorDash will do better than that.
I was texting with our buddy Robert Munich. And keep your eyes peeled, folks, today on the Flames Nation social media accounts, because we are going to make somebody else a winner, courtesy of the Hearing Loss Clinic. This time, it's going to be a nice little hockey package, an autographed jersey by some guy with the last name that rhymes with Schmooberdo. That's right. So all you're going to need to do is go to your Instagram, go to your X account, and then you've got to be following the Hearing Loss Clinic at Hearing Loss Clinic on X, at the Hearing Loss Clinic on Instagram. And we'll give this one about a week or so, but make sure you get in there, be following. And Robert will have all the details there on the Flames Nation social media accounts. And in about a week, we will hand out that beautiful autographed jersey.
Now, you mentioned Bobby Germany. Do you know where he is right now?
I believe I heard you say that he was in studio there.
He is in the room. You could get his mug right here if you want it. Wow. Right here.
Well, yeah, let's do that. I mean, I'm not
Bobby
sure.
Germany, get over here. Let's go.
Does he want to?
I
was going to say, you can't put a guy in that spot.
Oh, Bobby, all that good work you do for us, you can't let us recognize you. That's too bad.
Well, he's done stuff before. I saw him on some of the old podcasts that we did.
Yep.
He was there giving his opinion in front of a green screen.
That doesn't sound a lot different than what I'm asking him to do right now.
I know.
It's such a big deal.
I know.
Jonathan Huberdeau, 5 points in his last 5 games. The red hot.
Can't touch a flame when it's red hot, Rhett.
Is that what they say?
That's what they said.
Can't touch a flame when it's red
Don't
hot.
do it.
Now, I'm not sure. I'm not going to give away my sources, but I heard you put well, it's not even put on a show. I heard you were being yourself at Greta over the holidays.
Oh, so Friday we have a pal back in town from overseas, an old high school pal. And there's nothing more exciting than seeing your old high school pals when you haven't seen them in a long time. And I remember Casey had sent us out a nice Christmas package from Greta. The toque, get a t-shirt, couple of game cards. I said, fellas, I know exactly what we're up to. They said, we're meeting here. We're going to have a little Southern barbecue here, and then we're going to go here for a beer. And I said, I got us after that. We're going to Greta. No line, no messing around.
Oh, look at
game
you.
Cards, trays of drinks flying around. The fellas were very impressed with Greta, boys. Very, very impressed. You have the Mortal Kombat right next to the Street Fighter. Can you name a more iconic duo right there? That's pretty impressive stuff. The old school Pong on the main floor. We had Mario Kart races going 4-way. It was crazy. Downstairs, Bobble Bobble. Whew.
It's one of those things, and you would know this, Rhett, that we have all spent so much time together that now I don't go looking for it, but I get Pinder reports coming back to me.
Every day you get a Pinder report.
Hey, you know what? I was actually at, me and some buddies were over at Greta. Were you there? Because Pinder was there. I'm like, I don't hang out with Pinder. Unless I'm getting paid, I don't do anything with Pinder. Yeah, he was there, and they were hooting and hollering, and I thought, I was like, I wasn't sure if it was Pinder. I said, no, I'm sure it was. If it was
hooting and hollering for sure,
hooting and hollering, lots of hair, then that was him for sure. So
yeah, and a lot. The main comment I got from because there's 7 of us at one point. Where was this place when we were 21?
Yeah,
that's the question that kept coming up. We would have liked this place a lot, and we did, but it's big shout outs to Casey, Colin, Jamie, and Kennedy. Don't need the tequila shots next time. Everything else, perfect.
Yeah, you weren't probably begging for them either.
Yeah, you were probably no, guys, no, this is not no.
Do you guys need another round? Are you going back there? I mean, okay, twist our arm.
Did you have 42 chicken nuggets?
I've done that there, and that's the one time I'm going to do that there.
Yeah,
I don't plan on doing that again.
Right.
Thank God I didn't bet you because I'd have had 70.
Yeah,
I feel like 70 for you would be right in the same wheelhouse as 42 for me.
I think we did have some kind of a nice meal on the line, did we not? I thought that was.
Yes,
it was,
I think it was
definitely not agreed upon.
I think we talked about a nice steak dinner.
Did I miss Rhett's debts in the Pinder report today?
You did. Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
I forgot to add that. So Frank, a nice bottle, Pinder, American $100 bill, and Dino, you know, a nice steak dinner when you meet up with Rhett.
How come I don't win anything?
Well, you're supposed to make a bet with Jack, but you didn't. You would have beat him, right?
Jack, do you want some action on this Steelers-Bills matchup?
It's not dead, is it?
Oh, boy. I'm not giving you points.
Oh, you're not giving him points.
Nope.
10, that's the line.
If he's a fan, it's the playoffs. If he's a fan of his team, is he wanting to bet that they won't lose by too many, or does he want to believe in his squad?
Rhett, you're going to try to make Jack look cowardly here. You indeed look cowardly, not taking the line that all of the gambling places have decided is the fair bet.
I'm a fan of my team, and I'm betting on my team.
The first thing Retro always does is, and how many points? I'm going to need,
what are the odds?
Some points.
What odds am I getting on that?
Yeah.
Let's do it, Rhett. Fuck it.
Oh!
What do you want to bet?
You got to do the show with no shirt. Whoever loses the bet. That seems fair.
I saw one yesterday. It was because you're starting to see them now. The punishments for finishing last in your fantasy football. A guy was dressed in a chicken costume, running around a paintball thing, and all the other guys had their paintball guns.
Yes.
And there was nowhere for this guy to hide. All he could do was just run until he ran out of gas, and then they're just pelting him. I'm not sure why you needed the costume, but it was good. It was part of it. So, yeah. Who did finish last in our football?
Oh, that was me. Yeah. Oh. It was not close.
What happened?
I shouldn't have to pay for my entry then. How's that?
That's a good one. Yeah.
You know what? Now that the league's done, let's find a way that we can change some settings to benefit me. Is that what I'm hearing there? Yeah, it is. Okay, good.
I'm just saying you should feel shame, and
I feel a lot of shame.
Feel less shame.
I'd only missed the playoffs once in 10 years prior to this year, and dead last this year. Just awful.
It's hard though. Awful. It's hard. Yeah.
I went and looked back at the draft. It might have been the worst possible draft of 2023 fantasy football. It was every single round, it was like, well, that guy died. That guy sucked. That guy was hurt. That guy was no good. That guy died. It was, I could read it to you. It's quite painful.
It's generally how it goes when you finish last. Usually the draft had to have been catastrophic in nature. Now, didn't you auto draft Retro?
I did. I mean, it probably worked to my advantage because typically I draft with I bet with my heart and I draft with my heart. So it's
How many bills did you have? You had Diggs?
Cook and Diggs, and Diggs was the shits the second. Like they're not using them at all.
And Cooks wasn't that good in the first half either. Kind of swapped a little there.
Yeah, he was okay at the start, but his second half was really good.
If you needed me, my 2 quarterbacks were Deshaun Watson and Aaron Rodgers. But don't worry, my first 2 round picks were Tony Pollard and Ramondre Stevenson.
Who's that?
Yeah, bust. And my receivers were Christian Watson and Amari Cooper, who both did very little in the regular season.
Cooper had such a good week 15.
He had to make the playoffs for that one day. Yeah, that was the problem there.
That was the problem for
Don't
sure.
worry though, I had rookie Quentin Johnston that was
huge.
Conquo.
So how are people in Buffalo, right? They must be. There's no worry. They got the Steelers. There's no sweat, right? They're looking right past this game.
Next round, please.
Yeah.
Jack, how
no
are you
danger in that.
They're wound up. They're a little wound up because the Steelers and the Steeler fans are very faithful and they travel, not like Jack, who's a chicken, and he won't come to Buffalo. But a lot of the fans will be trying to get tickets. Ticket prices are very high. It's hard to find rooms, Dean. Hard to find rooms. You have to stay at my house if you're coming.
Jack, would you stay at Rhett's house?
Of course.
He's heard some stories. Sick. Everyone's sick there, Jack.
You just said, Rhett, that the only place he could stay would be at your house. It sounded like an invite.
No, I said it would be the only place, but he's not staying at my house.
Oh.
I got no room. Kids are sick.
What about Rob? Has Rob got room?
Rob's sick too. He's battling.
Oh, no.
Battling through it. He said he was traveling last week and he slept for 36 hours one segment of the trip.
Terrible.
So have we got a bet here, or are we just talking about it and nothing's going to happen again?
Well, we've got to figure it out.
You should give Jack some points.
3.
Yes.
3.5.
Sure.
TJ Watt just got ruled out today.
Don't
12.
care. It's a pride thing. Guy runs his frickin' mouth all the time. Oh, Steelers.
You don't need TJ Watt. Like, they can win without him. We got Minka back.
Who?
Minka Fitzpatrick.
Pro Bowler. Former Dolphin?
No.
Rhett.
I'm not a Steelers fan.
Is it really 10? Is that the line?
It was yesterday. It might have moved again with Watt out.
No, it's 10.
Yeah. I think they were expecting him to be out, but that news was official today that he's ruled out. 10's a lot.
Give the guy 10. 10 points. That's nothing.
Well, why not 7, Dean?
Why do I have to include you two idiots in any of this?
You don't, but we're just going to ridicule you for not being fair. That's all.
And?
Yeah. So as long as you don't
I'll win. I'm a winner. I don't care if I'm fair or not. Who won?
All of a sudden he cares about the line. He's been gone. He's on fucking 18 weeks, not even looking at the line, just picking teams. Now I can't be giving points.
That's right. I don't worry about the line. I just pick winners. I'm a winner.
He's straight up.
So you think a close game, Rhett, if you're not worried about the line?
Huh?
It's going to be a close game?
Well, I don't
don't
care
think
if
it'll
it's
be
close.
close. So yeah, you shouldn't care about
It's
the line.
irrelevant if it's close or we win by 30. We're going to win.
Well, it's maybe decide again. I don't know why I should keep my nose out. You're right, right?
No,
I just come up with what are the stakes, and then you can decide maybe whether or not there should be any points. Because if it's something big, then maybe Jack needs some points. But if it's something just kind of a pack of gum, a nice handshake, that sort of thing, then maybe you don't need points.
Some thrills gum.
Gross.
Is that the stuff that tastes like soap?
Yes.
Oh, the purple? Yeah, no good.
Jack, you put your thinking cap on and we will finalize this bet before the end of the week.
Sounds good.
Well, how about some booze? I'm just offering. It's for you two to decide. I'm not deciding for you. I'm just like a bottle of booze, some liquor of some sort.
You get Jack a flat of the Barn Burner Blonde, and he'll get you a bottle of whatever you drink down there.
Or it could be did you say it yesterday about today? Do it some kind of an embarrassment thing on the show where the listeners and viewers could get some payoff in it.
Yeah, shirtless show. Let's go.
You want to haul out your nips, Jack?
Check out his rack. Jack's rack.
I'll give you 10 points, but if you lose, you got to get the nips pierced.
Oh my god!
And what about if you lose, Rat?
I'm not getting that pierced.
That's not fair. What are you gonna do if you lose? You get a face tattoo?
I'm gonna fly you to Mexico. I'd rather do that.
He'll take that bet.
Yeah.
Fly to Mexico, Jack. Think about this. With his girlfriend.
No.
Oh, he'll fly me to Mexico and I'll be on my fucking own. That doesn't sound any fun.
You ever gone to Mexico on your own? Lots to be done.
How about just one nip, Jack?
One of those hoops?
God.
We'll do it on the show. We'll get a very reputable person in to...
Maybe he needs to wax his nose hair.
That's been done.
That's their new office is a block away. It's right here.
Ooh.
Lots of options.
We're going to need to settle on something, but it's a good start, fellas, and I'm glad you agreed on 10 points, Rhett. That's awesome.
And a nipple piercing.
Depends on the bet.
Well, we got time. The game isn't until Saturday. I think these are all very good ideas, right? It's we're workshopping this thing.
It's a
we'll get it
whiteboard
all
session.
figured out.
It is on Sunday, right?
Yes.
Yes. It's the Sunday
1 o'clock
morning.
I don't understand the nipple piercing.
For anyone or for you or for men or just anyone?
Just in general, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it exciting? Is it a fashion statement?
Do you have firsthand or second or
I have zero hand.
Okay.
No, I'm just that's why I kind of ask. I just
it's a vibe.
Maybe you should try it and find out.
No.
Why?
No. I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to use the life experience that I have gained in my old age to feel strongly that I would not enjoy it.
You might move up in your kids' cool rankings, so do it.
That's what kids want for sure.
Yeah,
because their parents to get nipple.
That would be cooler than Taylor Swift tickets, Dean, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Maybe throw in a neck tattoo. Yeah,
especially if you can get it on, tweet it out or
do it on YouTube for sure. Yeah.
Hey,
then
son,
it's there.
I know you wanted to go to WrestleMania, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a video of myself on YouTube getting my nipple pierced. That's your Christmas present.
Hey, what do you think? Yeah.
It's the best.
It'll live on forever. So tomorrow is Wednesday. We will look back at the Flames and Senators matchup, which I think we're all very excited for.
Look, it's not last week's Wild on a Tuesday, right?
I don't know what to. Honestly, it might be the best game of the year.
It could be very good hockey. Yeah.
Given the talent level that Ottawa has, like this, I'm not saying they're going to blow up the Flames, but this could be a very entertaining game.
Yeah, it could.
And mix in some Korpisalo, who they thought apparently was worth a 5-year. What the?
Well, and Kachuk gets mad, so shit can hit the fan as well. Like
Yan Kuznetsov solo lap. How aren't you excited?
It wasn't that long ago, though, Ryan, that you were on the Korpisalo, that whole the Columbus thing. Remember when the Flames were talking about
goalies in the league,
getting Anderson out of Columbus?
I didn't like one of those goalies, but yeah, they have been, not unlike Josh Anderson, very coveted for a long time by a lot of teams and have turned out to just be guys. And that is kind of the thing with goalies. Like, it's the type of goalie Carolina would love to get off of a bad year for nothing. Like, it's James Reimer is better than this cat. You could have James for $1 million.
And the thing with Korpisalo is he had that performance for the Kings in the playoffs where he did play with a good team, right?
Yeah,
it's not like you're coming right out of Columbus and you don't really know.
Yeah.
It's like, he wasn't great for the Kings.
The high water mark for Merzlikins and Korpisalo was when they beat the Leafs in that bubble series in the COVID. And they had like 950 goaltending. And it was like, wow, look at those two goalies. And they have Tarasov coming. But it's just like goalies, man.
I wasn't going to say anything either when Noodles was talking about it earlier when they should have beaten Seattle, but Joey Decord they got goalied. Was Joey Decord not a freaking like? I mean,
yes, that was the expansion draft pick. Oh, you're right.
But he was a guest. I didn't want to do anything there. Pinder and I will be with you tonight for Afterburner.
That's right.
After tonight's matchup. Are you flooding
What time's
drinks
the
or
game
something?
tonight?
7, usual start.
It's a 7 o'clocker.
You want to jump in, Red, or is that a little late? Still 9 Eastern?
I was just going to say I might be able to do that for one of you. I'm not doing it for both. So you guys can decide amongst yourselves.
If you want to do it tonight, that's great. You can stay away from the sickos and get this one done. That'd be awesome.
We don't have to get up.
Dean, you want to take the night?
If it goes to overtime, I'm not doing it.
I have a special project that
if it goes to overtime, I'm out. Whatever. Yeah, whatever. If you have something on the go,
somebody will be on tonight on Afterburner.
Yeah, the 2 of the 3 of us. That's a guarantee.
Okay.
Write it down.
We're all very looking forward to it. Did you see how Rhett just jumped in there? I'd love to do it tonight. Senators Flames, can I do it, guys?
That's the first time in 2024 he's done that, Dean. Took a while. No. Really quick, I don't want to I got 3 photos of some of the fellows enjoying the Barn Burner Blonde, and we did just get it canned last Thursday, and this Thursday's next delivery day. Now would be an excellent time to take a peek at some of the delicious brews being enjoyed across some pretty special places here.
The Barn Burner Blonde, our signature beer with Origin Brewing out of Strathmore. Look at that. They got the Grinch going.
Yeah.
He's trying to save the sled there. He's trying to save all the presents. His heart's growing 3 sizes.
Is that an old pooch sitting on beside him there? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of looks like an old hound.
That's our boy Devin from Amped Ret, that monster dog. She's a girl, but they call her Gord because it's Gordie Howe's favorite hockey player. So Gord is the dog.
That's nice.
Look at this New Year's Day hike. That's a beer with a view right there.
So you had to hiking, Dean?
I love hiking. Yeah. I have to hike my pants up high now because I'm old. Talking about my nips. That's about where my belt line is.
And then this is some fellas and gals down in Glendale, Arizona said, see you soon. It looks like they're at a Cardinals game here. Seahawks Cards. Was that this weekend?
Yeah.
Little zoom in. They're all holding the Barn Burner Blonde. They smuggled it down to Arizona.
Very nice. Very nice.
Guys, it's going to be tough to top those 3 picks. That's good stuff.
Love it.
Yes.
Origin Brewing
Day.
Yeah. OriginBrewing.ca. Go on there. You're going to be able to, you can buy merch, you can buy the beers, and they do have they're going out of their way, trying to make it easier for everybody to have a little Barn Burner Blonde in their life. They deliver within the city limits on Thursdays. I think it's $5 to have it delivered. I mean, come on. It's $5.
Right to your door.
Let's go. Right to your door. So we encourage you, and it'll be fresh.
Yes.
Did the fresh
Thursday.
canning? Fresh.
Cans.
Yeah. Love fresh cans.
Scottsdale. 2 days. 10 degrees. So close.
It's cold here, Retro.
Is it? I heard
it got cold.
If I told you it'd be 40 degrees warmer in Phoenix, would you take it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I told you it was minus 30 here on Friday,
it's
not as ideal.
Ooh, it is cold there.
Like a high of
Well,
minus 30.
It's not that cold today, but it's going to get a lot worse.
Yeah.
As soon as we leave.
We have a wind warning here. 70-mile-an-hour winds. Shit's going sideways right now.
And the thing about it is, it's been so nice here. It's just the quick. I went out yesterday I had to do some stuff like, oh my God, I got my jacket zipped up too. Get my hug. I looked at the minus 10. It's really not that cold, but old fat boy's gotten a little soft with the old El Nino and with our planet going to hell. Anyway,
the if you're flooding rinks, this is good. Otherwise, this is a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
it's too cold to flood rinks.
Not yet, but it will be. Yeah.
Why is it too cold?
Yeah, the chemistry of the water changes when it gets that cold, and it
kind of shatters a bit, doesn't it, Rhett? It doesn't flood as nice.
It freezes too fast.
Freezes way too quick. Doesn't level out as much as you want.
Yeah, it gets crispy, crunchy.
And it doesn't melt in with the other layer of ice.
It just freezes right on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Science, people. It's why you come here. It's what you get.
Pseudoscience. That's what you come here for.
Have a great rest of your day, everybody. We will we'll see you tonight for Afterburner. We'll see you on the show tomorrow and take a look back. No Noodles, no Jamie McLennan on the show tomorrow, unfortunately.
Replay him. He's so good. You can replay.
He's so good. Yeah, just replay it for sure. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Appreciate you. See you, buddies.